Hi, this is Sam Lacy with Travel South USA. We're at Travel South USA's 2015 Domestic Showcase, and I'm here with Chad Prosser. And Chad is one of our VIPs for the show. Chad was the Director of South Carolina Parks, Recreation, and Tourism for 8 years, from 2003 to 2011, and served as our Executive Chairman of the board in the mid-2000s for a couple of years.
I did.
So you have much experience in the tourism industry, and particularly with Travel South.
Absolutely. It's great to be back at Showcase, too, and to see the size and the activity today has been wonderful.
So back when you were director of the board, could you ever have imagined that Travel South's Showcase would turn into such a big undertaking? We have 600 delegates here.
Absolutely. You know, it's always been a big undertaking, and just to see the growth in tour operators, particularly on the international side. That was something during the period of time I was with Travel South that we really worked to grow. And outside of some of the traditional markets like Europe, we went into China. And so that expansion, to see that continue, particularly as the world comes together as one global marketplace, it's nice to see the southeast of the U.S. competing very well, and I think Travel South is a big part of that.
Now, you were telling me that you were kind of part of the team that organized a sales mission to China.
That's right.
Can you talk about that a bit and how that helped bring international travelers from China to the South?
Well, it was really, for the Southeast, our first foray into China, as we had more and more visitors who were beginning to come, not just on business, but to come on leisure travel, and the ability for them to travel was becoming easier. So we began in Beijing with a joint sales mission with Delta Airlines as they were opening a flight there and in Shanghai.
Yeah.
So the access through Atlanta was increasing at the time. It was a perfect time to be in the market and to get some exposure. And also, as part of the U.S. Travel Board, those of us who were members of U.S. Travel had a relationship with our sister provinces in China and had an exchange at the same time. So it was a wonderful way to spread the word about travel in the South, and for the fastest growing outbound segment internationally, to be able to tell them what is available here in the South.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a key market for us, I know, moving forward from the mid-2000s on.
And now we're really beginning to see the fruits of that with growth in many of our markets. Even where I live now in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, there's a growing Chinese market that's really beginning to take hold.
Yeah. We have seen an explosion in international growth in several markets. You know, we have some key target markets, and so that kind of precipitated the invention of the international showcase, that we started 3 years ago in Atlanta, and then was in Nashville, and just this past year we were down here in New Orleans.
That's right.
So that international showcase.
We always had components with international tour operators and media as well coming to Showcase, and I think there was talk for a long time about bringing that together as a separate event, and I'm glad to see that finally take shape with International Showcase. It's a terrific way to approach the market.
Exactly. It's been very, very successful, and a great boost for Travel South USA and international visitation to the South, getting the word out there. We had over 100 international buyers from 17 countries in New Orleans. So
that's an impressive number.
It's been great thus far, well received. Chad is currently in the hotel industry in South Carolina, and there being so much crossover, between the hotel industry and the tourism industry.
Sure.
You can kind of speak to some of the trends you see moving forward in tourism in the next 10, 15 years?
Right. Well, I think it's interesting when you move from the 40,000 foot level of a DMO type organization like Travel South to where the business is actually booked and happening on a day-to-day basis, and that's changing so rapidly with the way that we reach visitors, with the media that we use, and the ability to have a two-way conversation where visitors are telling you what's happening and giving you feedback through all the various websites and other means that they use in social media to tell us what they're thinking about our product and how we can improve, what they want to see. And I think that's a good advantage for smaller markets, some of our regional markets in the South, because in that world, they really have an equal voice to the larger destinations that have huge media budgets. But now the playing field has been leveled to a large extent. And for us, for all that Travel South has built over the years, I think it's just a perfect platform for our smaller communities to be able to take advantage of.
Exactly. And you kind of touched on it a bit there. Social media and the internet and everything that we've seen over the past decade gives a voice, a free voice to, destinations that might not have had money for exposure or whatnot.
Right.
Everyone these days can have a Facebook page, have a website. So all these smaller destinations throughout the South now have a voice with the big boys.
Well, and when the internet began, it was all about transactions. About I know I want to go to this destination. I can make a booking. That was where it began. Now we're really driving demand, and we're seeing folks wanting to explore new places that they may not have thought of, to discover new places, and that really happens online these days.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's our new website, TravelSouthUSA.com. It's geared towards so many of these websites these days. You have to know where you want to go,
right?
And so what the web has done, and specific websites, is now you can explore. You can find out where you want to go.
Right.
Take a look at the South, our 12 states. Well, I didn't know this was here. Let's go.
That's right.
Let's go experience this, and right across the border in the other state is this destination. So we're kind of...
And if you're an international visitor, you can come through the portal of Brand USA. It's a great way for those visitors who are just beginning to discover and maybe have come to one of our major U.S. cities, and now they're starting to look a little bit further into U.S. destinations, and we're able to piggyback on that with what you're doing with the website with Travel South USA.
Exactly. Well, Chad, thank you so much. You've been great.
Appreciate it, Sam. Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Thank you. Excited. Looking forward to it.